Hey everybody, I'm Charles from Comic Week. I'm here with Alex and Brianna.
Hi.
I'm in the middle of a lot of comic book knowledge here, and we have this week's new releases and number ones, and also we're gonna have a live Pokemon Sword and Shield pack opening. I paid $4.20, zing, for this pack of cards, and I'm gonna see how bad Wizards of the Coast totally hosed me. But that's later. What are you guys reading this week?
Gwen Stacy!
The butt variant.
The butt variant.
That's apparently what this is going to be known as. I just thought it was the prettiest one. But yeah, this is going to be her solo series as Gwen Stacy, not Spider-Gwen, just Gwen Stacy, to my knowledge. Now that being said, who knows? Maybe the last panel is going to have her suiting up.
I mean, it has a ludicrous amount of covers. It also has a lot of tie-in covers for, like, Venom and Amazing Spider-Man and Immortal Hulk. And all of them are just Gwen Stacy involved in this thing. It's like the Mary Jane variants were. Only, honestly, I gotta tell you, I really like the Gwen Stacy variants a lot better than I like the MJ variants.
I thought the Spider-Gwen and MJ variant was adorable.
I didn't think it was bad. The Gwen Stacy variants are superior.
Okay.
As is Gwen Stacy to Mary Jane.
Wow, we're throwing a gauntlet.
We're burying the lead here. Okay. So on a 1 to 10, what's going on there? Is that a 10 butt?
I don't know, man. I don't live my life this way.
She's very conscious about how shapely the skirt is.
That's not really washboard ass.
That is a pencil skirt that was intentional.
Just saying. All right, what else?
We also have three
favorite.
Valentine's variants. When I mean variants, I mean one-shots. There's also a Star Trek one as well. But yeah, so if you want to have a little bit of love going on and a couple of issues, specifically Transformers, amongst others.
As we sort of hide the Napoleon Dynamite Valentine's Day special because we don't want me to pop off.
Eyes. Yeah.
You can either take a trip to Jiffy Lube or you can see it in IDW's new Transformers Valentine's special.
I have so many questions, and all of them are ones I don't really think I want answered.
All right, from Image, you have Safe Sex, number 6.
Good transition.
Good transition. I always like these because they have great playlists or mixtapes if you were born and lived in the 1980s and 90s when tapes were a thing that we mixed.
I have mixed
I have mixed tapes. I just say that I use Spotify because I live in 2020.
I'm pretty sure your dad was probably responsible for many a mixtape being created.
Oh yeah, he made so many mixtapes and CDs for me growing up. It was very sweet.
So anyway, there's that. This is wrapping up the first story.
Saw
arc.
a radical spoiler at the end of that one. You just flipped it open and I was like, oh, well that happens.
Yeah,
but you have to buy it to find out.
Yes. Also, Catwoman. I just love Joel Jones' Catwoman.
Yeah, it's a really, really solid series.
I'm really angry. I'm still like salty about what happened with the Batman wedding storyline, but I do think that this series does make up for it, even if I'm still cranky about it.
Did you read Batman 85? Tom King's last one?
Mm-hmm.
They get together.
I know.
It works out.
I know, it's just...
That was a spoiler.
It works out. Well, it's, you know...
That was a spoiler.
If you...
That was still a spoiler.
Back issue territory. We got time.
Still a spoiler.
She's gonna keep shouting spoiler if you don't move on to the next book. Ascender.
Yes. I've been digging this. I like Descender a lot. And Ascender is going up instead of down as a word. But,
is it increasing in quality?
But actually, you know, the thing is like Lemire's like everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so...
Well, I still have people coming in trying to start Descender. Like, they'll be, coming in looking for the trades because they want to start the storyline again.
Yeah, I just like the watercolor art most. But I think, I would like to see Jeff Lemire kind of like hone it in and just stick to a couple of stories instead of being everywhere. But,
yeah.
But also, the big movie out from DC is going to be Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, which actually I think is what they're going to start calling it now. It was number 1 at the box office this last week, but I think it made about $10 million domestically, less than projections. So they're hoping maybe the name is too like obtuse for people. They don't realize it's a Harley Quinn movie. So,
she's on the poster.
She's on the poster, but
it's technically it's supposed to be like Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. For the record, the reason I'm looking is because we have a poster for the movie on the wall, and it literally is that in the title.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of Harley Quinn stuff lately. Do you think they kind of lean on her a lot?
There's too much for me personally. I think there's too much Harley Quinn.
Right.
I feel like we're not at the same point that I feel like we have an oversaturation like I think we do with the Joker. But I do think that Harley Quinn has a lot of stuff, and it's a little
Yeah.
bit hard to
Well, and I mean,
get riled up for.
you
it.
also have a tendency with Batman-related characters for them to get extra push because Batman itself is such a prominent title.
Where's my Poison Ivy stuff? Where's
Right.
my
Harley Quinn and
Freeze
Poison
stuff?
Ivy. Mr. Freeze had a one-shot in one of the Curse of the Black Knight
Where's my
issues.
Scarecrow stuff? If you're about to say Kings of Fear, that doesn't count because
Where's-
Kings of Fear.
What
is
about
awful.
Last Night?
He was really cool in Last
Where's
Night.
my
Yeah.
penny plunderer?
Where's my calendar man?
And not.
Nice.
All right. All right. What do you got this week?
All right, so taking a hard left turn from all the upbeat stuff, one of the ones that I'm really excited for was the Pennyworth, the Pennyworth like rest in peace issue, which is sort of
How's that not a spoiler?
It's in the title.
I don't know what to tell you,
Also,
man.
that's farther back in the back issues.
If you look at this and you're like, I wonder what happens in this one. I don't know what to tell you, my guy. There's a lot of like you have Batman
Well,
sobbing in a cemetery.
Alfred has a phoenix down, and it doesn't matter. We're all good.
Phoenix Downs don't work in cutscenes. That's what happened with Aerith. So, wow, we're really mixing our nerderies here. But the Pennyworth Rest in Peace storyline is sort of, not just like the funeral, but sort of the aftermath ripples of what Alfred's death did to the Bat family. And sort of the issues that it's causing between, like, Barbara and Damien and Dick and Jason, and everybody's all upset at each other. It's sort of, you're basically going through them processing all of it. It's actually a parallel, more or less, to the Superman Heroes book, which is the next one I'm going to talk about.
Right.
So while Pennyworth is like this sad, like, series of stories where you're seeing everybody sort of work through what happened with the death, with this one, we're going through a series of different characters in Superman's storyline. Now that he has revealed his identity, he actually had like a big meeting with the Justice League, and everybody's like having their reactions to it. And everybody's just losing their entire minds, except for Plastic Man, who's like trying to have this moment with him, and it's just not happening. And then they're starting to talk about like the repercussions that it's going to have, and you're seeing sort of society's overall reaction to Superman being like, hey guys, by the way, I'm Clark Kent. I don't know how it's taken you all this long to
Parted
figure
my
out.
hair another
It's like
direction.
it's like a 70-year-long episode of Undercover Boss.
Oh god. It is a 70-year-long episode of Undercover Boss, but I don't like that description, so I don't want to acknowledge it.
All right, so I'm going to try to muddle my way through this pack of cards,
I'm gonna be
and
so.
I'm going to try to like pronounce everything. I'm sure I'm
I've
gonna...
bought like $30 worth of cards today, and I didn't get a whole lot of fancy stuff. So if you get something really good, I'm gonna be so upset.
Right, like I said, it did cost $4.20.
You should.
With tax.
You will laugh at this. The big fancy cards that everybody's looking for in this set are called V cards. I wish I was making that up. I'm not.
So I might be able to get my V card tonight.
Yeah, you very well might.
Very
All
good.
right, so now we're going to have him try and pronounce Pokemon
All right,
names.
so I got Rookie D. Is that any good?
That's
Yeah.
right, yep.
There we go. Sizzlepede.
Yeah.
Sizzlipede, but yeah.
Okay. Cool. I got a Snom.
Yes.
I love Snom! He's so cute!
There you go. Okay. All right. Mawile.
That's one of Bree's favorite Pokemon, actually.
There you go. And let's see, a Gossifleur.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Palpad. It's like a Trapper Keeper for Pokemon, or what is that?
It's
That's
a
actually-
trainer card. It's helpful. Oh, cool! You got a.
I got a Galarian Berserker. With was that a hologram card?
Yeah, that's a holofoil.
And let's see, I got an Energy,
So you did get a holofoil rare in this, which is better than Bree's been pulling.
a Fairthorn,
Yeah?
a Raboot.
A Raboot.
Reboot.
That's it.
Yeah.
What'd I
And
do?
then the code card.
You actually did better than Bree's been doing. So she's like super mad right now.
Right.
Josh has the magic fingers.
Magic Fingers, yeah, he was doing that like.
He was doing this little gesture.
So I think the trick is you got to make Josh do it for like at least 2 minutes per pack to get the good card. So when you're in the
It's
store,
all V cards.
when you're in the store, if you don't get that full 2 minutes, it's like brushing your teeth. You have to get it all. All right, guys, let's go through the ones. You guys, I'll hold them. You guys rattle them off.
All right.
Alienated.
Okay.
Blackwood.
The morning after.
Ah, yes.
Because it's a sequel series. It's not just
Carson.
Black.
Was Blackwood the first series? Pretty
That's-
good, though, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
the first one was pretty good. I haven't read any for the morning after because obviously the first issue has just come out.
Right.
And then we have the Eye of Amator.
Amator.
Carson
Right.
of Venus. Green Lantern season 2.
I'm just letting you do it.
Gut Ghost.
The insides are
I-
not
I
inside.
don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay.
Superman Heroes.
All right. Yeah.
Batman Pennyworth,
Reprise.
Mother of Demons.
Which sounds like an
It's-
exclamation,
and
you would
specifically,
say.
it's Spirits of Ghost Rider, Mother of Demons. But that is a really long title.
Right.
I can't pronounce this one.
Tartarus?
Yeah, that one.
That is also a fun fact. That is the name of a level of the underworld in Grecian mythology where you have bad stuff happen to you.
Not a lot of good things happening in the world, unless you find some gems.
Well, I mean, the way that it sort of works in the underworld in like traditional Grecian mythology is it's just kind of like chill and dark, and like you just kind of hang out. And it's like you're not actively tortured. Like it's not like Christian hell, except Tartarus. You will be tortured there because that's where like Tantalus and Sisyphus hang out.
If you have a chance to go to the underworld, and the deal you make with Hades is you get to take your wife back to the surface world, but he says, "Don't look back. Don't look back."
Just don't. Like, here's the thing.
If someone-
Hades is not a bad dude. He said, don't do it. Bad stuff will happen. He's like, oh, I'll just go ahead and take a peek. And it's like, my guy, he is the authority on dead stuff.
Right. It's not like you're with your girlfriend at Target, and
Yeah.
you're like, where did she go? No.
No, she'll be there. He can hear her. It's in the myth that he, like, hears her walking behind him. And he's like, well, it's fine now. No!
It's like Mr. Bill being run over. Okay, then you got Undone by Blood, The Shadow of a Wanted Man.
Which wins our award for longest title of the week.
You know, back in the turn of the century, like, books had, like, gargantuanly long titles, like,
Mm-hmm.
paragraphs and paragraphs long.
Like, there was no spoil. Like, you didn't need to read the book. Half the
Yes.
book was on the cover.
Okay.
Nebula is going to get her own storyline. Then we have Marvel Action Spider-Man. That's going to be the all ages series. And then Marvel Tales Wolverine. This is going to be reprints of he/older Wolverine issues, all collected in one book.
It is a very thick book.
Actually, I really like the cover of this. I do wish in some respects that, like, the original Wolverine costume would have stuck around longer.
Yeah.
Because I really think it's kind of... You don't like that?
No, I don't. Like,
It does kind of look like a football player.
It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like
So,
a Lucha.
maybe it's because of, like, how I grew up. But for me, the fact that there's this, like, gritty, like, sort of, you know, on his own loner character that's generally a very serious character, he's like, you know what my costume ought to be? Yellow and blue spandex with weird horns kind of coming out.
Yellow is a happy color. He's not
Like,
very happy.
it's just, it looks like a costume he was forced to wear.
Right. Well, do you think he ever does anything he really wants to do in life?
Look, I grew up with, like, the X-Men cartoon series where he used, like, his adamantium claws to just, like, slice salami for sandwiches. And then we had the horrible 180. Not the horrible, because, like, the original X-Men, like, live-action movies were great. But he was like, every time I use my claws, it hurts. And it's like, but you use them for the kitchen. But, like, in the animated thing, he's like, do, just making a sandwich. And it's like, what I want to say is I miss the X-Men cartoon from, like, the 80s.
Right.
That's really what I want to get out.
Well, anyway, that kind of wraps up this week. There's even more. There's a lot there. This week's slate of X titles. What else is really? I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog we didn't get to cover because we're lazy and we didn't pull it.
I mean,
but
we can pull Sonic the Hedgehog.
don't make us do it. Don't make us do it. We did it. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff out. So if you're in the Richmond area, Central Willow Lawn area, I guess you're in the West End, aren't you? Technically.
I mean, just if you happen to be around.
Just if you happen, and you happen to have money to buy comic books with. Yeah, definitely stop by, buy them out of all the popular titles and the lesser known titles. Definitely appreciate it. And for Comic Week, I'm Charles Morgan, again with Alex and Bree. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.